Federal immigration agents raided a Newark business on Thursday, detaining 3 undocumented workers and issuing court appearance slips to others. Newark Mayor Ras Baraka today confirmed Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, agents carried out the operation at a local fish market and asked to see employees' IDs, but according to the mayor, didn't have a warrant. Baraka and immigrant rights representatives who spoke at a press conference today wouldn't give exact details about those who were rounded up, but said 3 workers didn't have documentation and were detained. A 4th was an American citizen and military veteran who was released. ICE agents took the employees' fingerprints and photos and gave several paperwork to appear in court next month.
This is a work site that employs about 80 to 90 people per day. We got there were 12. By the time we left hours later, 3 people had come back. There were 15 people total. People are scared. We knew this was going to happen. And what we learned from folks that stayed behind was that ICE walked in like it was their empire's own conquered land. They were heavily armed. There was no prior announcement. They were blocking off entrances and exits. They were scrambling up delivery ramps. They were banging down bathroom doors to make sure no one was hiding inside.
Well, the incident comes as President Trump has promised to launch a mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. ICE confirmed the operation today in a statement saying agents, quote, may encounter U.S. citizens while conducting field work and may request identification to establish an individual's identity, as was the case during a targeted enforcement operation at a work site today in Newark, New Jersey. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt posted on X that the Trump administration arrested 538 people on Thursday across the country, describing all of them as, quote, illegal immigrant criminals. Mayor Baraka and Democratic Congress members from New Jersey today condemned the raid, calling it unconstitutional.
None of these people were rapists or murderers or criminals. The problem with it is that ICE went in there without a warrant. And we can disagree on politics. You can disagree with me about the role immigrants play in the economy of our community. You can disagree with me about the fact that most immigrants are not criminals. In fact, they are victims of violence in cities. We can disagree about whether you support mass deportation or not. But what we must agree on is that the thing that separates this country from many other countries around the world is the Constitution of the United States.
Absolutely.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Unto his life foreigner from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Lord willing, your brothers are edified through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. To make a long story short, I think I'm going to put a video with this. The mayor of Jersey, Newark, Jersey, he made mention of ICE coming in and doing what they claim to be doing, which entails that they're not doing their job properly, but they're also rounding up and messing with U.S. citizens. So what this means is when these mother effers go and do what they claim they're going to do, free the country from illegals, if they don't like you, if they, just because of the way you look, then they could take your documents from you, take your personal stuff, and then say you were illegal and kick you out of the country. So we come into a point in this hellhole, we come into a tipping point, which is biblical. It's talking about Jacob's trouble. Now, everybody named Mama knows that they're not going to go and look for the Ukrainians. They're not going to go look for the they're not even going to go for the Sudanese, Africans, and so forth, or the Chinese, all right, or East Indians, They're going for the Latinos, the Haitians, the Jamaicans. They got a Jamaican in whatchamacallit, in Boston. They got a Jamaican in, was it Boston? I'm sorry. I think it's New York. Well, it doesn't matter. They're going after Jake, straight up. They got a certain type of hard on for you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it's not by accident, it's not by coincidence that we all going through the same situation. Once again, proving who we are as a people. All right. This is Hebrew Israelite 101. Okay, matter of fact, let me start with this particular scripture. I'm going to have a lot of in this particular book because this proving once again that we are the biblical Israelites. Jeremiah 50 and 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together." Now, why did the Lord say it like that? Because the kingdom of Israel was split into two. This goes back to after Solomon, right after Solomon, Solomon's son Rehoboam. All right, matter of fact, yes, Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Now Jeroboam was the captain of the host of the northern kingdom, and when Rehoboam became king after his father, instead of taking counsel from his father's people, who was much wiser, he took counsel with the youth. But this goes back to when Solomon went off at period. So this is the backstory is what the Lord did. So during Solomon was the last king to have all 12 tribes. David was the first, Solomon was the last king to have the 12 tribes. After Solomon, the 12 tribes became two kingdoms. So they were never pressed together. The only time these two kingdoms which were one, was oppressed together, that is during the time of Egypt. And that's history. So it's not talking about back then, it's talking about now. All right? And it says, let me read again, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives," which is another hint, because that is mentioned, it was only pressed together during the time of the Egyptians. That was one nation. So now it's talking about all that took them, all the nations that took them, held them fast, and they refused to let them go. So it's talking about the future. So this proves right there that what's going on right now is that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are being oppressed together. Trump have a hard on because Trump is Nero. This is the same thing. Let me get this. It started with this guy, but during the time, am I spelling it right, Claudius? I think oh, wow, I'm good. I was just talking smack. And it says, Acts 18 and 2, it says, "And found a certain," matter of fact, I saw that one. "After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them." Now let me see. I never did this before, so I'm going to try. I know it's not going to give me no. So it started with Claudius Caesar. I believe Claudius had to have been the 5th Caesar. You got, oh yeah. No, he's the 4th Caesar. Yeah, the 4th one, right? Or the 5th. I believe Nero's the 6th Caesar. So between Claudius and Nero, there was a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a disposure. They was kicking, quote unquote, Israelites out. That's what it should have said. All Israelites to depart from Rome. So this is the same act that's happening again. There's nothing new under the sun. I was gonna get that, but I don't have to get that. So during the time of Claudius, matter of fact, let me just do this real quick. We are living in a time of Jacob's trouble. We are literally living in a time of Jacob's trouble. All right. I don't know who the heck and what and who. Why did they do that for? I don't know. All right. So, they're not even giving the order. That's why they're doing that. No. Oh, that's wrong. Okay. I don't know why I put Claudius, because his name is Octavius Augustus. So maybe that was one of his names. I don't know. So you have Octavia Augustus, the 1st Caesar, Tiberius, right? Caligula, Claudius, Nero. So say Nero's the 5th. All right. So during this period of time, this is when the great damn, why can't I even say that? They're doing it now. They kicking out Israelites is going on. And why it's so prominent? Because it's proven that this guy, Nero, which is this guy, Trump, is doing the exact same thing. He's doing the exact same thing that his previous stuff would do. All right? Kicking out the migrants or the immigrants. Which so happens that the previous administration was allowing these people to come in. So now it's his job to kick them out. So now what's happening? Your normal average citizen is getting caught up in this madness. And the mayor of Jersey that said that was happening, he said when they wrote ICE, it said pretty much, oh, these things is gonna happen. Though that technically that's no excuse. You can't randomly go after your citizens and just to bunch them up. So we living in some weird, serious times. Oh, this particular scripture came in mind. Jeremiah 5. I should start at 1, but you start at 4. It says, therefore I said, surely these poor, surely are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the way of the Lord. The Lord's talking about his own people. When you read, matter of fact, let me start at 1. Jeremiah 5:1. Run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now, and know, and seek in the broad places thereof, if you can find any man, if there be any that execute judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon it. So this is the challenge that the Lord gave unto Jeremiah. That's how wicked the people were. Right? He said, go and look and find. And said, and though they say the Lord live, surely they swear falsely. O Lord, are not thine eyes upon the truth, as thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved? Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. They have made their faces harder than the rock. They have refused to return. So that goes for all our people. All right. They are hard-headed, impudent children, Stupid. Now, before all this thing happened, this great dispersion, I think that's what I was looking for. Uh, Before this all happened, you had men warning people, like, look, things about to get bad. Things about to repent. The Lord's about to do people damage. What do they do? Just fan their hands. Oh, these guys are crazy. So now this shit's happening. They want people to feel sympathy for them. And people fail to understand how the Lord operates. He's just not going to just do something randomly. He's going to do it precise when you least expect it. But he gave the warning. All right, that's the number one thing. And it says, therefore I said, surely these are poor. They are foolish, for they know not the way of the Lord, nor the judgment of their power. And none of these people out here know the Lord. All right? Nor do they care to know the Lord. They see the Lord the way they want to see. Like when you be out in the streets and we put the horns on Caesar Borgia, they be like, oh, what? Like in Spanish and whatever other languages, why you put the horn on Jesus for? And it tells you on that sign, the scriptures that back up, saying basically this is not how the Lord looks according to the scriptures. If it's according to the scriptures, you say you love, I gotta say this, but Jesus, and you all about Jesus and all this other stuff. But when we tell you like, nope, he looked like this, the same Jesus that you claim to love looked like this. Oh, you have a problem with that. That's when you all have a problem with that. So let white Jesus show you the way out. All right? Throw you outside. See how it feels. Because this is a common thing with what goes on in the history of Esau. He is constantly screwing you people over. That's all he knows how to do. And all the time, y'all always fall for it. And it says, I will get me unto a great man, and I will speak unto them. For they have known the way of the Lord, talking about the elect, and the judgment of their power, but these have altogether broken the yoke and bust their bands. And it says, wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them. And this is the time of the invasion. This is when the Babylonians came in and ransacked Jerusalem. The Lord's prophesying this was going to happen, right? Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, and a wolf of the evening shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Every one that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces, because the transgression are many, and the backsliding are increased. So it gives you the context of what's going to happen and why it's going to happen. So now let's fast forward to this present time. 2025. The forewarning of what was going to happen. And it been said this is going to happen. Did people take heed? No. Although our people have been set up, bamboozled, robbed, right? But now it's transitioning to not just the people that's here, quote unquote, illegal, but the people that's been here. All right? Has been in this present time, this present place. And it proves that this man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because he's about to come down hard on everybody. Real quick, Psalms 10 and 4. Should I start at 4? It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts, and his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. For all his enemies he puff at them. And that's Esau. That's how he operates. All right? That's why Trump is going around making a lot of enemies around the world. Pride. That man is exuberant pride. He is just oozing out pride. All right? And the things that he's doing right now is what? He's exercising his full strength. He's not giving two rat's ass who he's taking. Now, if he was wise, well, I was gonna do a show on it, but I'm just gonna make mention of it. That even the churches are not even off limit. So they could go to. He told his officers that they could go to churches, courthouses, and something else. So there's no sanctuary. There's no sanctuary to get away. So they about to come hard on everything, on everybody. Kind of remind me, I was just through the spirit. There's a particular channel that showed all the classic 70s movies. And basically just give you a rundown idea how things were back then. All right, during slavery and so forth. Even post-slavery, later down the line, when Jake didn't really have that much rights. And since they didn't have that much rights, guess what ended up happening? They was being picked on. All right, they was being preyed upon publicly. And there was nothing, no law in America that was preventing them from not getting devoured. And that's what's happening again. History tends to repeat itself. And what people are going to fail to understand, you people that love America so much, it's a little rant, but you people that love America so much and try to pretend like your history did not come or did not exist. So what the Heavenly Father is about to do to you, he's going to remind every last one of his people who is the devil. You're going to be like, oh, slavery was a long time ago. Nope. All these people that quote unquote got arrested, so a lot of them is going to be cast out in the beginning. But when it gets out of control, your ass is going to be thrown into people are going to be thrown in concentration camps. That's the next big thing. And they're going to be working as quote unquote slaves. All right. It says, he said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And that's what he's doing. That's exactly what these devils are doing right now. They're lying their ass off. They're doing whatever it takes to make themselves seemingly like they're right. But they're about to hunt. They're going hunting. It's like back in the days, you had Looney Tunes and you had Elmer Fudd. He hunting rabbit. Nah, they going hunting. They hunting Israelites. And they passed the law to make it legal to hunt Israelites. That's how this devil operates. They created a crisis, or a potential crisis, to unload on everybody. And it says, he sitteth in lurking places of the village, in secret places doeth he murder the innocent, and his eyes are privately set against the poor. And that's what's happening. So when I put that whatchamacallit on there, and to hear what they was doing, these people was just working. And you sit there, you're like, they promised to go after the quote unquote illegals, but how are you gonna go to the illegals that's working? When do you go to the illegals that's not doing shit? That just sitting, shit like that doesn't make sense. But it makes sense when you try to make a statement showing like, look, you don't give two shits, and then people is gonna be behind. They're gonna be behind them because people are stupid, and they're showing it right off rip. It just started. They're already going after the quote unquote the citizens. And it says, his eyes are privately set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. And they had no warrant, no nothing. So they trying to say they go beyond the warrants. Even typical when they trying to invade something, or even the cops can't go illegally. This can break into somebody's house. Why? Because they had to get a court order. They're saying that they don't even need that shit. So we're coming to some crazy, beautiful times, man. And it says, he lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when they draweth near his net. And the net was set. Come into America. The land of opportunity, freedom, and all this other crap. And we'll protect you. Now, you come, there is no protection. They're going to hunt you people down. When I mean you people, I mean 2/3 of the nation of Israel. They're going to get caught up in this one of many traps. And it says, he croucheth and humble himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. And he said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hid his face, he would never see. So this is exactly what's happening right now. Going back to the main course, I'm trying to make this too long. Jeremiah 30:7. It said, alas, for that day is great. So it's talking about one day? No, it's talking about a period of time. And this period of time begins right now. And there's levels, there's stage into everything. The scriptures, when the scriptures talk, it's not talking about just one particular moment. It's talking about events that's going to take place to make matters worse. All right? And it's getting worse right now. They're going after citizens. They do not care at all. And it says, so that none is like it, even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So this is truly the beginning of Jacob's trouble. This is truly the beginning. This man, matter of fact, for this, Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time. So that during the time of Claudius Nero, that campaign to get rid of the quote-unquote Christians out of Rome. So happens the same thing's happening now. The exact same thing. History repeating itself? Yes, that is correct. History is repeating itself. So, I'll add the other video where they're basically saying they can't even escape from churches. There's no more sanctuary for the people. There's no nothing. Matter of fact, let me get this. And it's funny, not funny, but it's foul as it is, and it's real. Jeremiah 15, I believe it's 3. No, I'm sorry. 5. It says, who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Who shall bemourn thee? Or who shall go aside to ask, how was I do this? Nobody cares. That's a sad part. All right, you got the mayor for Chicago basically saying, look, I ain't doing no such thing. So something major is about to go down. You got all these people in top positions that seemingly not budging because they can't stand Trump. And the best thing, which through the Spirit been saying that could happen, is what? A T attack, and the illegals that are here are responsible and make this guy a wrathful king. Because this is just the tip of the iceberg. They said, what, over 500 people across the nation that got deported, which is compared to what, tens of millions that they were saying, shit not adding up. So they about to come down with great wrath. And whatever happens to the people, nobody's gonna feel sorry for them, because of the simple fact is the empathy card is thrown out the window. So something major is about to go down. This is why, brothers and few sisters, stay prayed up. All right, so with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.
Another executive order on immigration signed by President Trump this week suspends the U.S. refugee resettlement program, which vets and helps foreign natives who are many times fleeing war or persecution. The order from the White House says the U.S. just can't absorb large numbers of migrants, in particular refugees, and wants state and local governments to have more say in where the migrants resettle. But it also means thousands of refugees who've already been approved to come to the U.S. have had their travel plans canceled. That includes immigrants who were scheduled to come to New Jersey and the nonprofits and places of worship who were preparing to welcome them. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan reports.
I'm very clear that we are not offering physical sanctuary at the Reformed Church of Highland Park.
Seth Caperdale feels alarmed. Like a beacon, his Highland Park church beckons immigrants seeking shelter from persecution worldwide, helps hundreds of them resettle around New Jersey. Always the church relied on its special status as a sanctuary, like schools and hospitals, long considered off limits to federal agents. But the president this week rescinded that policy.
They're doing a game that is not our game. We're interested in saying that refugees and immigrants are a blessing, not a burden. We were not going to have physical sanctuary offered to immigrants in this church, even though we've done it many times in the past, and we're actually like a leader in that nationally.
In fact, during the first Trump administration, several Christian Indonesian refugees fled their New Jersey homes and moved into Caperdale's church after ICE suddenly started deporting members of their community during routine document checks. For months, the church served as a shield and a symbol.
In the past, to offer sanctuary wasn't to hide somebody. We weren't interested in being accused of aiding and abetting. Offering sanctuary was for the sake of highlighting what we felt was an injustice.
He says the president this week abruptly canceled permits for some 600 refugees expected by his ministry. Meanwhile, Homeland Security announced criminals will no longer be able to hide in America's schools and churches to avoid arrest. The Trump administration will not tie the hands of our brave law enforcement and instead trusts them to use common sense.
We're getting the bad, hard criminals out. These are murderers. These are people that have been as bad as you get, as bad as anybody you've seen. We're taking them out first.
Jersey social media's now plastered with posts of the ICE tip line urging report illegal aliens. The pastor fears for his staff.
I am less concerned about challenging government than I am concerned about freewheeling people who seem to want to take matters into their own hands. They scare me more than the president does.
Faith leaders are wrestling with the same dilemma at houses of worship across New Jersey and the nation. They're mindful of their sacred duty to offer safe haven, but they're also aware of a new extremism. Social service agencies report similar concerns.
The community is afraid to a point where people are worried about going to work. They're scared of sending their children to school. Kids are afraid to go to school because of the actions of the new administration.
Courtney Madsen's with Church World Service in New Jersey and also helps settle refugees. About 60 arrived before Trump shut down the program, leaving more than 130 stranded. Madsen says they're heartbroken.
There's one case where it was a single mom with 3 children coming to join her sister. The sister had arranged a place for them to stay, was prepared to help them financially. And the reason they were really coming is the kids want to go to school.
Advocates say these refugees are not criminals. They've gone through extensive government checks.
It's really a shame that the program is being totally suspended. It's even more a shame that I saw the number 10,400 refugees have been thoroughly vetted, are ready to travel, have their tickets, and have been told they're not coming. And that has nothing to do with national security or capacity. That's just hate.
Capperdale refuses to let Trump's politics drive his mission.
It's as if we're with an abusive father, and now we all have to talk about how are we going to keep the abuser at bay, right? I don't want to talk about that.
The pastor says he'll talk about his truth, that this nation was built by immigrants and it flourishes when they're welcomed. In Highland Park, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJ Spotlight News.